And we are finally here. We are to our last speakers. Yes. We did it.
We did it!
We've had 12 amazing speakers over the last 2 days bringing information on how to make your life better, but more importantly, how to share the message of chiropractic, how to share that the body can heal from within, and the nervous system is the master system. We're live here in Kansas City. We want to thank Cleveland University for having us, and more importantly, like all the docs that showed up here, live, more importantly,
yes.
But then also virtually for all of you out there.
I know we had some from Brazil, so we love you, Brazil. We know that we've had questions, so we're going to be able to answer those later. But I just want to say, again, thanks to our team that is abroad, our team that is filming, our team that's on the ground. It is absolutely fantastic. It cannot be done without them. And we wouldn't be able to make any of this possible without the support of our amazing sponsors. Yeah. This vignette is sponsored by Biotics Research.
Hi, my name is Dennis DeLuca, the president of Biotics Research. In the late 1950s, my cousin was diagnosed with a serious illness, and my father became determined to help him. The prognosis was not good, but through science-based nutritional intervention, my cousin's quality of life exceeded medical expectations. It was that illness that brought several family members together, which led to the founding of Biotics Research in 1976.
Are we on?
Yes.
We're live.
We're live.
Let's go. All right, we're going to wrap up this 2026 ChiroThon, and I couldn't be happier because honestly, the three people that we have with us are making a difference in Kansas City and more importantly around the world. We've got Dr. Travis Oler here, we've got Dr. Logan Null, and more importantly, the Carl Cleveland the third. Your family has absolutely transformed chiropractic, and this is my first time in Kansas City. I had a lot of friends that were at the LA campus when it closed down, but more importantly, they came here, and I've heard nothing but amazing things about you, your school, so thank you for having us. Thank you for hosting us.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
So we're going to get this thing started.
The best part is that we have more speakers in this panel, and they're going to bring about some very phenomenal information. And we have Dr. Oler, who is the executive director of KCA, and he's an experienced chiropractic physician and healthcare advocate. He has practical chiropractic care, and he's been doing it for several years. He's served his patients in both clinical and administrative roles, and we're so grateful that he said yes when we said, can we go to ChiroThon with you? And he said yes. Now we also have Dr. Logan Null. He is the vice president of the KCA and a diplomate of chiropractic cranial cervical junction procedures. For those consumers that don't know what that means, don't worry. We're just all talking about specializing in upper cervical care. And he also practices in Independence, Kansas with his father, continuing a third generation of chiropractic in his office with his grandfather over 75 years ago. And that truly is the legacy of what we're all about. Dr. Knoll focuses on precise patient-specific care of the upper neck and head, and that is why we brought him here, is to give us more wisdom, more enthusiasm, and more research, because he's also involved in research and continues to grow through his professional education. So I want to thank each and every one of you on this panel for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
So I think the first thing I want to ask is why, you obviously partnered with ChiroThon, right? And we're raising awareness. But how do you feel about the success of the weekend? Dr. Oler, I'm just going to say this. He's made a commitment and almost a bet against his association. And so if you're watching out there and you have a Kansas chiropractor, they want 40 new members inside their association. And if they do this, there's this giant, what do you call it?
It's the State House Dome.
Yeah, talk about it, because I want to see your fear in your face.
So the State House is one of the tallest State House domes in the nation. From the 5th floor up to the cupola is 272 steps. And about halfway up, you have to go out over the glass inner dome, and it just looks down. And I've tried it once. I got to that point where you started to go out and said, no, this is not for me. I've made a guarantee to the association. We get 40 new members. I will live stream myself going up that steps.
When was that when you were up there?
It was about 6 years ago that I tried.
6 years ago, okay. And can I just say what you said over there? Because I think it's really empowering, right? Like taking your health back. Mm-hmm. Talk about your last year's journey.
So I've lost 50 pounds over the last 12 months.
Yeah.
Just by making sure that I'm watching. I used a glucose monitor and made sure that I kept those numbers down and just walked more.
And just like Will Shield yesterday, right? Like you saw that and you're taking your power back. And as a practitioner, I think that's really important for all the audience to understand you're not alone. Like we struggle too, and we go through things. And so when we have a community like this is really what it's about. Dr. Cleveland, tell us a little bit about your mission, where you're at, what you're doing here at the university, and what are some of the things that are coming?
Cleveland exists, its vision is to develop leaders in health promotion education. And when we say health promotion, we're talking about programs that improve quality of health and activities of daily living, influencing the appropriate behaviors that promote health. There are many organizations throughout the country that focus on the treatment of disease. Our focus is on prevention of disease and promotion of health. And of course we do that with chiropractic, its connection between the spine and the nervous system, and how that affects health promotion and quality of life.
Love that.
It's so beautiful as we start thinking about where you've been, Dr. Cleveland, and the years, the legacy that your family has brought to this institution, and then also to the State Association, how gracious you are. You live your life by example, and that is do what I do, and that's the beauty of it, is you continually to give back, no matter what day it is, no matter what time it is. How would you say to a new student coming in, or a student who might be listening, who might be a high school student, or even a parent who is raising a youth in today's world, what would you say to them about coming into the career or lifestyle of chiropractic?
Well, thank you for that question. The opportunities in chiropractic as a career have never been greater, because as has been stated earlier, the focus of the Doctor of Chiropractic is on the diagnosis, care, and prevention of disorders of the spine and other parts of the musculoskeletal system. And with the focus on proper spinal function, its relationship to the nervous system, and good health. And as has been stated earlier, the brain is protected by the skull. But the extension of the brain, the spinal cord, is protected by the individual spinal segments of the backbone. And if those spinal segments are dysfunctional, it can actually interfere with the communication between the brain and the body, and the body and the brain. And what we now know, and the research clearly demonstrates this, the effect of a chiropractic adjustment actually improves brain function, spinal cord function, and it's the brain and the spinal cord that regulate the function of the body. And that's the biomechanical and neurological basis for the results we get. There's never been greater visibility for this profession today. I mean, when you think about it, you had examples here this weekend, all major football leagues have doctors of chiropractic, all 32 of those. All 30 major baseball leagues have doctors of chiropractic. Chiropractic is practiced in the Olympics. In addition to that, substantial research pointing to the effectiveness and the safety of chiropractic care. And at a time where the healthcare industry is backed into a corner where they have to look at non-pharmacological approaches to health, chiropractic raises its hand. No drugs, never had those. And in addition to that, what's moving this profession forward is the aging baby boomer.
Yes.
Have you ever seen one? They were born between 1946 and 1964, and they're getting older. Over 11,000 baby boomers turn 65 every day. And what profession is better positioned to help usher those boomers into their golden years to maintain balance, flexibility, pain-free mobility than a doctor of chiropractic? There has never been a greater opportunity and a greater need for the services chiropractors provide today. And when you think about the opportunities for the doctor of chiropractic today, these individuals have the opportunity to go into their own private practice. They may go into an integrated care setting. They may go into the Veterans Administration. They may have sports chiropractic. They may specialize in animal chiropractic too. Tremendous opportunities in this profession. But I think what's most valuable is that these graduates that leave our chiropractic colleges will go out into the world, and they're going to change people's lives, and they'll enjoy the priceless reward from the men and the women and the children whose lives they change. They become heroes in their community. For the faculty worker that can go into the plant on Monday morning and earn a day's wage pain-free, the chiropractor's the hero. Or maybe it's the third grade teacher who has migraine headaches and can walk into her classroom pain-free. Or maybe it's simply the corporate executive that wants to improve his golf swing on Saturday morning. Or maybe it's a grandfather like me that simply wants to pick up his granddaughter, dance around the room pain-free. There has never been a better need, a greater opportunity for the care we provide. And you have 20 chiropractic campuses here in the United States, including Canada. And those who are interested in becoming a chiropractor or learning more about chiropractic, I encourage you to go to the Association of Chiropractic Colleges webpage. That's chirocolleges.org. Go to Find a College and get more information, because those colleges would be happy to tell you about the opportunities as a doctor of chiropractic.
Man, I'll tell you what, you said baby boomers, and something that comes to mind, so often we think, oh, you know, just to help them get out of pain. But I can tell you, I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and most of those baby boomers are wanting to play golf. They want to play pickleball. They want to play with their grandkid, right? So it's not just about the pain, but it's thriving. It's like having longevity. And I love that you brought up longevity earlier, you know, yesterday in the segment, because that's really what this is about. And it's not just adjusting the baby boomers, but their grandkids.
Of course.
And bringing it into a family affair.
Yes.
So I think that's amazing. Dr. Oler and Dr. Knoll, tell us a little bit about being here in Kansas, right? Like, one of the questions I asked you earlier, I was like, how many chiropractors are in Kansas? And you're like, 1,100, right?
Yes.
About 1,100. And you said most of them are between Wichita and right here in this city, and then kind of circled out. To me, that was shocking. Like, I was like, really, that's it? You know, and so, by the way, if you want to move to Kansas, the weather's pretty amazing right now.
It is.
And I'm just blown away by that. So how do you see chiropractic evolving in Kansas over the next 5-10 years?
Well, I'm going to tell you that, you know, while most of the chiropractors in the state are within 2 cities, the doctors that are practicing in the rural areas all have thriving practices. And it's easier to build a thriving practice in a rural area than it is in a big city where you got 3 chiropractors on the block. Kansas is a great place to practice. We are the first license in the nation. In 1913, the first chiropractic licensing law was passed. Dr. Anna Mae Foy was the first licensed chiropractor in the nation. 1911, we were the oldest chiropractic association in the nation. We were formed in 1911 in downtown Topeka. I can see the building it was formed in from my office. And what's so important about your state association, and this just isn't Kansas, this is to every state association, we are the only ones working for chiropractic. We are the only ones at the State House talking every day that they're there about chiropractic. So it's really important. If you like your practice, you should be a member of your state association. If you want to see your practice grow, if you want to see chiropractic grow, you need to be a member of your state association.
Wow. And Doc, like, obviously you're the vice president of the government affairs that's on there, or
The association.
the association. Talk a little bit about that, because I think it's so important when we're looking at law, right? And some of the things that we were able to discuss, but we need boots on the ground with our legislators to understand what we're doing. And right now in the MAHA movement, chiropractic is very pro, you know, care. Like, when you look at the Veterans Affairs, you look at everything else, what are you seeing here locally that maybe people watching have no idea about what goes on behind the scenes?
Yeah, so the KCA worked on bills this year trying to push better care for our patients, whether it's through concussion protocols and things like that within the state of Kansas, but also defending chiropractic when different cases come up about writing sick notes for patients, whether the job would accept it or not. Even some basic things like that sometimes misinformation on the side of legislators and other people in positions of power don't understand about chiropractic. So we can either come in and educate, or sometimes come in with a legal fight on our hands. But the KCA and other state associations are there to make that fight. So whether it's getting involved just by signing up to be an association member, or taking the step to serve your association, has really developed my leadership abilities on other boards and things that I serve in my techniques and other things like that. I got that training through my state association. It's local. I don't have to travel for that.
And you're a 3rd generation chiropractor.
That's correct. Yeah.
What made you stay in chiropractic?
Well, I growing up, I loved chiropractic because I didn't love it. I never got sick, and I always wanted to stay home from school sometimes. All my friends did.
Right.
And my dad was just like, well, you're not sick. You go to school. And so I was involved in sports. It was just a wonderful time growing up. And so I wanted to go into health. And, I ended up at Life University and came back here and practiced with my father. So it's just been a lifelong pursuit of mine, and I was reminded of that talking to our legal counsel that's also a chiropractor here at the KCA. He had the opposite. His family was all medical growing up, and he had almost a lifetime of sickness until he discovered chiropractic and got into it.
That is kind of an interesting thing. It's a paradigm shift from looking back in the past and seeing where you are today, then looking forward to the future. And I want to push to the future right now with you, Dr. Logan, because you had, as Dr. Cleveland, some generational challenges, because you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what it's like to not be involved in a chiropractic family, and it is a beautiful thing. But we did get a question from our audience, which we want to embrace that, and we want to thank you for that question, because it really does help us in ChiroThon to know where you are. And one of the questions was, what advice would each of you give to an aspiring chiropractor? And Dr. Logan, I'm going to throw it over to you, because you've had so much time in your family just thinking, breathing, and being in chiropractic.
Aspiring wise, sometimes school, and not quite 10 years out of school yet, can feel challenging, daunting, board tests coming up like that. So persevering through that, never giving up, you can definitely make it. The trouble a lot of times that I saw with some of my classmates is that they were struggling with, this one specific test that I have to pass, and it almost weigh on them. But there's a huge community around you, whether it is your state association, if you're at a place, will likely have resources to help you too. But even your other students are, the education community, I think, is a lot less competitive among students. We're all there to help each other out, because the ultimate goal is to help our patients. So people were always helping people, and so I loved that when I went through school.
Well said. Okay, I'm gonna let you end, so I'm gonna go to you first, Dr. Travis.
I think it's an echo of what Dr. Knoll just said. Get involved. When you're at school, get involved. Show up to clubs, volunteer, do everything you can, learn every technique you can, so that you have the biggest toolbox when you get into practice. But then when you get into practice, get involved. Be part of your association. Meet the doctors in your neighborhood. Do not practice on an island. If you are practicing on an island, you're the only chiropractor that you know, well, first of all, how are you going to get adjusted? I mean, I get adjusted every week. Why aren't every doctor doing that? So get involved, meet your neighbors, make friends with the chiropractors in your community, and build chiropractic together.
Brilliant. Dr. Cleveland, the last word on this one.
Well, you'll be taking a lot of courses, anatomy, physiology, chemistry, and all of that. And those are important. But your most important courses will be the chiropractic palpation and clinical assessment of joint function and chiropractic technique. Yes, there are a lot of clubs. I suggest you get involved with the clubs, build a social relationship, expand your knowledge, and all of that. But most important are your clinical skills and your interpersonal skills, without a doubt. Here's another point of advice. All of the chiropractic colleges have learning resource centers. Speaking for my own institution, if we find a student that's struggling by midterms in any one of the courses, we have them go to the Learning Resource Center down in the library, where they are assigned a trained educator to help them with time management, how do they manage their memory skills, and in addition to that, we hire an upperclassman that's had the course that they are struggling in to be the tutor, to be a mentor. At Cleveland, we talk about mentorship. Each one needs one, each one be one. And you're going to find that personal experience within chiropractic education here in the United States.
And I have that in you, Sherry. I mean, 11 years now? And the thing is that it really doesn't matter. Actually, I'm going to restate this. It doesn't matter if you're called or not called to chiropractic. When you are truly in it and you're being called to it, you will be the best person for humanity when you make that decision. And I said it yesterday, is that oftentimes, healers they're not choosing their profession, it chooses them. And it's the darkness that you might be going through right now. If you're listening, it could be your pain, it could be a disease, it could be disease. But the fact of the matter is that your body can heal naturally. And I think that's ultimately, when you're looking at a school or you're looking to make a career change or go into a profession, understand that this is one of the very few professions that you can transform somebody's life with your hands, with your heart, and more importantly, with love.
Love. That's my favorite. My favorite opportunity as we go through this, and I think it's why we're all sitting on this couch, is that we're very fortunate to have such an amazing profession. When you come to a chiropractic event, you're not just coming to get your continuing education. I will tell you, I get more hugs in one weekend than most people get probably in a lifetime. And that really means something, because human touch can never be underestimated. There is no artificial intelligence that will ever be able to match a human connection. It is really one of the greatest moments that I think we can have, not only in humanity, but especially in chiropractic care. So I want to thank both, all of our guests today. Dr. Cleveland, thank you for your fantastic and absolutely amazing facilities and your staff that were with us this weekend. The Kansas Association, you guys are rocking it. I want you to get your 40 plus because I want to see the fear.
Me too.
I want to see the anxiety just dissipate as you walk through and you see, I can do this.
I'm going to one-up this, that if they get the 40, he has to go skydiving with me.
Next year, maybe next year.
The plot thickens.
Travis, have I paid my dues to the association?
You have.
I don't want to be delinquent. No. Okay, you'll let me know.
You don't count though.
We began with laughter, we ended with laughter, we met our goal. We can't thank you enough, everyone, for being with us. We want to thank our viewers, we want to thank our staff, everybody out there. These vignettes have been absolutely fantastic. And our guests today were just incredible. And if you're out there and you're hurting, find us. Find us, we will help you, and we will make sure that you get the care that you need, but most importantly, that you deserve.
Yeah, and you couldn't be said any better. But thank you, everyone, again, for turning up and turning in. Thank you for your donations. Everybody, drum roll. We hit beyond our goal, 35,265. And wow, I'm absolutely blown away. And the cool thing is that this does not close till Memorial Day. So you can still keep donations coming in through Memorial Day. Share this link. Remember, f4cp.org/ChiroThon. And this can help us get to that $60,000 goal that I ended up setting when I got here. Because here's the deal. It's not about the money that's being given. Remember, you give through the hole you receive through. Bill Harris said that before he passed, and he always said it when he was on stage. And I want to encourage you, if you can't donate financially, donate with your energy, your time. Send this link to somebody. If you know somebody's hurting, send these vignettes to them, let them watch, and maybe there is an opportunity for them to get to where they want to go.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we're going to close it out by just being extraordinarily grateful, and we want to make sure that you will tune in for next year. Yes, that's right. 2027 is going to be ChiroThon. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It'll be our 6th year. So, as they say, we will see you next year.